Black supremacist militia, the NFAC, is back in the news. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan make a big mistake. President Trump angers the media with his corona treatment, and the polls break heavily in Biden's favor. Let's get into it. While I was looking for news over the weekend, I saw that the NFAC had a protest, and in that protest there was an accidental discharge of a weapon. Now, I paid that story no attention because I remember that back in July, the NFAC had a protest, and in that protest, they had an accidental discharge and 3 people were injured. I thought, this is just the same event, right? But then I looked closer at the date, and no, these idiots did it again. They look so serious and intimidating with their weapons and line formation, but clearly they can't even handle it. And for those of you who don't remember, the NFAC is a black supremacist militia that wants a black ethno-state in Texas. I'll let their leader, Chief Master Jane, explain it better.
The whole 9 yards, and then become the backbone for the military for a new black nation.
What is the solution to all of this? And that's the last
The solution is very simple. We file a Declaration of Liberation, declaring every African American descendant of slavery a political prisoner here in the United States, and that was affected by the Portuguese slave trade. And then after that, the United States has a choice. Either A, carve us a piece of land out here, we'll take Texas and let us do our own thing, or don't stop us when we exodus out of here and go somewhere where they will give us our own land to build our own nation.
What is your name and what is the...
I'm the official Grand Master J. I created the NFAC.
All right, and how long have the organization been in existence?
We don't give that information out.
Right,
just how we'll tell you this, we're all ex-military, we're all very disciplined, we're all expert shooters. We don't want to talk no more, we don't want to negotiate, we don't want to sing songs, we don't bring signs to a gunfight. We're an eye for an eye organization. So when they decide to act right, we'll decide to act right, and we do it all legally.
All ex-military, all weapon experts, you say? Seems to me like you had 2 protests, and in those protests you had 2 accidental discharges. Doesn't sound like an expert. And in the one this weekend, the person who had the discharge was a felon, so he was arrested because he wasn't supposed to have a weapon in the first place. Instead of a group of ex-military experts, the NFAC is a group of armed, racist idiots. And while we're on the topic of racism, let's talk about the wonderful power couple, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This poor guy was brainwashed by his wife. Brainwashed. He renounced everything. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up estranged by his family. After their marriage, Prince Harry and Meghan stepped down from their royal duties and decided to move to Canada. Being bored in Canada, because Canada is Canada, the couple decided to relocate to LA, where their agenda would be better met. You see, the couple has been capitalizing on the Black Lives Matter movement, taking several interviews and making several statements in support of Black Lives Matter and denouncing institutional racism. The wonderful Prince Harry said he had an awakening. This awakening is that the world was made by white people for white people. Keep in mind, all this woke rhetoric is coming from a guy who is literally part of a family that conquered others' peoples and lands. Literally, an imperial family. The power couple, nuzzled with the liberal elite in Hollywood, landed a massive Netflix deal, a big platform in order to disseminate their new woke views. Harry and Meghan recently appeared in what seemed to be a Joe Biden endorsement ad. And while not directly naming either Trump or Biden, the support was quite obvious. So obvious, in fact, that even the Queen took notice. The Queen and the palace decided that Prince Harry's intervention in US elections was crossing the line, and therefore he will not be reinstated as Captain General of the Royal Marine. Instead, his brother will take over. Over the weekend, the Trump got very upset at the Trump administration's lack of transparency of what's going on with Trump and the virus. They also questioned, and deservedly so, the main physician for Trump, because Dr. Connolly was not as clear as he should have been. He said that the Trump wasn't on supplemental oxygen when, in fact, he was, twice on supplemental oxygen.
Not received any supplemental oxygen?
He's not on oxygen right now, that's right.
He has not received any at all?
He's not needed any this morning, today at all. That's right.
Has he ever been on supplemental oxygen?
Right now, he is not on
I understand.
oxygen.
I know you keep saying
That's
right now, but should we read into the fact that he had been previously?
Yesterday and today, he was not on oxygen.
So he has not been on it during his COVID treatment?
He's not on oxygen right now.
I'm going to try to pin you down one more time. I know you said there was no oxygen
Yeah, I'm
yesterday
not.
and today.
Yeah,
Does that-
yeah,
does
he's
that
not
mean he
on
re-
oxygen
But did he receive
today.
Did he receive any on Thursday?
And he's what's today? Saturday.
Saturday.
No, Thursday.
Okay, so no Thursday, no Friday, no Saturday. That's fine.
So-
that was why we were confused.
Thursday, no oxygen, none at this moment. Yeah, and yesterday with the team, while we were all here, he was not on oxygen.
Late Friday morning, when I returned to the bedside, the president had a high fever, and his oxygen saturation was transiently dipping below 94%. Given these two developments, I was concerned for possible rapid progression of the illness. I recommended the president we try some supplemental oxygen, see how he'd respond. He was fairly adamant that he didn't need it. He was not short of breath. He was tired, had the fever, and that was about it. And after about a minute, on only 2 liters, his saturation levels were back over 95%.
Today to disclose that the president had been administered oxygen.
It's a good question.
Thank you.
I was trying to reflect the upbeat attitude that the team, the president, that his course of illness has had. I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of illness in another direction, and in doing so, it came off that we were trying to hide something, which wasn't necessarily true. So here I have it. He is the fact of the matter is that he's doing really well.
What scared me the most is that Trump wasn't even tweeting, maybe 1 or 2 tweets. But last night, the man went on Twitter rampage, so now we know that he's feeling better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The highlight of the weekend was when President Trump decided to take a joyride to say hi to his supporters outside the hospital. The media and Twitter went cuckoo. How dare Trump endanger the lives of his Secret Service? Does he want to infect them too by having them in a confined space? First of all, these people's job is to literally take a bullet to the face for President Trump. To the face! Okay? Second of all, what do you think is going on in the hospital? Do you think Trump is just chilling by himself? The Secret Service doesn't allow Trump to go off. The Secret Service is covering Trump 24/7. So say the pity party got going on because it's fake news. Trump had this to say about the matter. It is reported that the media is upset because I got into a secure vehicle to say thank you to the many fans and supporters who are standing outside of the hospital for many hours and even days to pay their respect to their president. If I didn't do it, media would say, rude. Kinda agree with the guy. Regardless of fake news or not, the debate, plus Trump's diagnosis, plus the Trump administration's handling of the diagnosis, has shifted the polls heavily toward Joe Biden's direction. Now, are polls to be believed? I don't know. Should we ignore them? No, we have them, so let's take a look. In a Wall Street Journal and NBC poll, Joe Biden is leading Trump by 14 points. That's a massive amount. But this poll is a national poll. It matters, but it's not telling of what's going to happen on election night. What matters is swing states. In 2016, Trump won because he won 77,000 votes across several swing states. He lost the popular vote, 1 million. So the national polls don't really tell the whole story. So even though nationally he doesn't have a chance, he might actually have one. The president will be released from the hospital tonight and has released a video looking much better.
It's been a very interesting journey. I learned a lot about COVID. I learned it by really going to school. This is the real school. This isn't the let's read the book school. And I get it, and I understand it, and it's a very interesting thing, and I'm going to be letting you know about it. In the meantime, we love the USA, and we love what's happening. Thank you.
Unfortunately, the sad news today is that the wonderful press secretary, Kylie McEnany, has tested positive. While many people wish for the death of President Trump, some wonderful people hoped for his recovery and prayed for it. Wonderful people like Kim Jong-un. Thank you for your prayers, Kim. Looks like it worked. Now that Trump seems to be out of the woods with the whole COVID situation, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to help his polls? Do you think the polls are going to switch? Do you think Joe Biden has this thing locked? Comment down below. Like, subscribe. Ginger out.